Let's all go to the lobby, lobby, lobby. Let's all go to the. Let's all go to the. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the. Let's all go to the. Let's all go to the lobby.
One Reel In podcast. Alien Earth. Take one.
What is up, real boys and girls? We are back with you again, and your eyes do not deceive you because we are not on camera this time.
Listen, it's no one's fault.
It's no one's fault. No one could have caused this.
No.
No one is to blame. It's simply that cameras don't exist today.
Sometimes.
And kind of ironic, we're doing a show about reviewing movies without a camera, but that's neither here nor there. Just like the camera. The camera's certainly not here. No, that being said, I'm with my co-host, as always, the beautiful, gorgeous, booby, Marco Dupa.
When you're in space, people hear screams.
You scream.
Yeah.
When you're in space, you scream.
You scream.
As he so eloquently stated at the beginning of the show, we are going to be reviewing the full season of Alien Earth. That means spoiler. You have been warmed. You've been warmed.
Yeah, and this is like a new thing. It's like one of the newest things that we've done on here so far, other than like, I guess, movies that we've gone
to the theater to see. Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, this is pretty so if you're not finished, you better catch up.
Yeah, and I will say this is the first time we're going to do a TV show, which is very different for us and for this show. Mm-hmm. So hang in there.
Buckle up.
We'll get through it together. Mm-hmm. But that being said, since the people can't see it, please tell us what we're going to be drinking tonight for our second edition of Not So Sober October.
Yes. This is the Prairie Bomb. So we might have done the bomb years ago on this show. I believe, and we've definitely done some Prairie stuff.
Certainly.
And trying to get like higher ABV stuff. The bomb just must have made its way into the repertoire at some point.
Yeah, but it definitely has.
But we haven't done. First of all, we haven't done it long enough that we don't remember when we done it.
Sure.
And also, we don't do high ABV beers like this, obviously, all the time. We usually keep them for the month. And so I think it was high time to revisit an old classic.
Yeah.
So Oklahoma's finest, Prairie Artisan ales. Prairie Artisan ales.
Artisan.
Artisan. I think that's a pronunciation thing, and I don't think I was wrong on that one. I've been wrong before. I think you can say artisan, artisan. What did you say? Artisan.
Artisan, yeah.
Artisan,
as in like artisanal.
I'm sticking with it.
Okay, that's fine. I respect it. I will say I think this is actually the perfect beer for this episode because it is apparently a collaboration with Spaceship Earth Coffee Co.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we're going to pour it up and take a little shippy ship. And I will say this looks like motor oil.
Well, it is an Imperial Stout. I don't think I said that. I was just called it the Prairie Bomb and expected everybody to know what it was. It's an Imperial Stout aged on Spaceship Earth coffee grounds.
Ooh.
Or not grounds. Cacao nibs.
Cacao.
Vanilla beans and chili peppers.
Oh,
so,
a little spicy.
That's right.
All right, cheers. Ooh. Oh yeah, I get a very light spice at the end.
Just a hint.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a fan of.
Yeah. I was gonna say I usually absolutely hate spicy drinks. Mm-hmm. It's one thing I can't stand is like a spicy marg. Don't like it. Can't stand it. Tried a few spicy beers before. Not a fan.
I just don't think that they make sense. They shouldn't exist.
No. But this one, just a little light hint, which is fine. That being said, I think you know what time it is.
It's time.
I am going to read through the synopsis of an entire TV show.
Not the synopsis. Your synopsis.
My synopsis. Everyone hold on tight. I promise you're going to be okay. Okay? We ready?
Yes.
This is your final spoiler warning. The year is 2120. The Earth is controlled by 5 megacorporations that have infiltrated every aspect of life. Weyland-Yutani, Prodigy, Lynch, Dynamic, and Threshold. Though we're very familiar with Weyland-Yutani from the rest of the franchise, Alien Earth centers around Prodigy and its CEO, Boy Cavalier, as they develop a solution for mortality, the hybrid, which transfers human consciousness to a synthetic body. It all starts with prototype Wendy, a terminally ill girl whose consciousness makes the leap for the first time. Quickly, Prodigy creates its own Neverland of sickly or otherwise forgotten children that are killed and transferred to these new, powerful, never-aging adult bodies. Meanwhile, a Weyland-Yutani bioresearch vessel, the USCSS Magonaut, packed with a menagerie of alien creatures, including a xenomorph, is sabotaged by a crewmate who's secretly in cahoots with Prodigy. The aliens escape, wreak havoc, kill all crewmates other than the cyborg, Kumi Morrow, and the ship crashes into a skyscraper in Prodigy City. Thus begins a battle for the ownership of the aliens aboard, which Cavalier quickly snatches up and begins studying. Yutani and Kumi on the ground, however, conducting an espionage... Yutani has Kumi on the ground, however, conducting an espionage mission. I do it to myself. Mission to get a sweet, sweet baby xenomorph off Prodigy's secure research island. Meanwhile, Wendy was able to save her medic brother from the crash site and is now torn between his desire to get her out of the research facility and advancing as a hybrid. Feeling important as she learns to speak xenomorph and eventually fully communicates and controls the xenomorph. Oh, she can also somehow mentally hack and control any electronic device. Ending the season, one of the former kids, named Slightly, is blackmailed into getting nice guy and Prodigy engineer Arthur Sylvia to get face-hugged, and he does not make it to Kumi's pickup site. Kumi and the Yutani goons invade the island. Wendy, Joseph, and Nibs, a hybrid, having a really hard time, make a break for it, using the xenomorph like an attack dog. Joseph stops Nibs from murdering his old soldier buddies. Wendy wrecks shop on the Weyland-Yutani goons and collects the rest of the hybrids to detain their former captors, Joseph and Kumi. While Yutani begins a full-scale military invasion of Prodigy's research island. The lunatics run the asylum with a zoo of deadly alien species on the loose. To be continued? Question mark? And that's it.
Very cool.
That's the season.
There you go. Not too bad.
Thank you.
Pretty efficient.
Thank
So
you.
that's all it takes. Practice makes perfect, folks. And we're getting better and better with each episode.
Doing my best. Got a 93% tomato meter and a 66% popcorn meter.
I think that's bullshit.
Yeah. So we have a disparity between what fans and critics think of the show.
Yeah.
Clearly. And I've seen a lot of discourse online that backs that up.
Yeah,
So-
I actually haven't looked into any like cultural opinions on it. I just was like, I mean, I'm a massive Alien franchise fan, so I was like, I'm just gonna watch the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Good, bad, or ugly. I've seen all of the Alien movies.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen all of the Predator movies, unfortunately. And yeah, I was like, nothing's gonna stop me from watching this show.
Yeah,
so.
no. I regardless, this was going to get watched.
Yeah.
So I will say, overall, I find it to be a success.
Yes.
I think it was successful in what it was doing. I do think the second half of the show is far weaker than the first half. And I have some qualms with plotting and pacing.
Yeah.
And I do feel like the ending is rushed.
Yeah.
And
I'll go even further. For me, I can pinpoint exactly when the show turns.
okay.
It is right after the third or fourth episode, probably around the halfway mark.
Yeah.
where they show what happens to
the crew,
the ship finally.
Yeah.
Where they finally, because that, in my opinion, is the high watermark of the whole show.
Yeah.
It is
quintessential.
excuse me, Alien.
It is a mini Alien movie.
Yeah, it's essentially like a reboot of the first movie with more just with like different, obviously different characters and whatnot, but like, you know, you've got Kumi, the cyborg, who's not a synthetic,
right?
He's different,
something in between.
Yeah. And you've got all these different motivations, and obviously you've got Cavalier and Prodigy introduced, so you have different motivations, you have different different reasons for everyone being there, and they obviously don't make they were there for the alien, like they had aliens on board, they were researching them, they introduced all these different aliens and stuff, so it's different, it's kind of the same,
sure,
but the way that it's shot, the way that it's paced, the way that it's acted, like that episode, I'll just spoiler alert, my favorite episode of the whole season. I think, and then after that, it does get a little the pacing's just a little weird. It gets slow in other moments, weird. And then there's and then in other moments it feels really rushed. They do things, and there's very consequential things happen, and then other things just kind of get, you know, thrown to the wayside, I guess, a little. Yeah,
there are weird slogs in the middle of it, but then also they don't explain characters like moving across the island to certain places and just
and they give no real explanation as to the size of the island.
That, I mean, I feel like that was one of my biggest issues with the season itself was, you know, we talked up how well designed of a setting Alien Romulus is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I feel like this was the opposite, where it's like we have no sense of the size or scope of the Prodigy Island.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's cool, that's not to say like the set design was bad. It's more like you just don't understand the layout or how any of this works, or like even in a way that like Jurassic Park does so well too. It's like, okay, there are certain sections of this island that are for specific creatures, or, you know, are mapped out in this thoughtful, logical way. And I feel like without that, you're kind of lost.
You're literally like lost.
It lose, because there are plenty of scenes of them just like walking around a rainforest, and you're like, where is this? How far away is this from like the underground facilities we're usually in?
Right.
And, you know, like how far away is that from the beach that they're trying to get to eventually? And,
how much it seems to be that there's only one dock.
Yeah, right.
But we don't know where that is in relation to the research facility, or how long it takes to get there. Why is it so hard to escape?
Also, it's an island, so you figure there's, you know, shoreline across the entire thing. So unless there's giant, you know, like fences that they can't get across.
And we don't know their capabilities. They seem to be near indestructible. Well, until we find out that they're not. But there's
which is also confusing, by the way.
Yeah, yes. They don't really explain how or why only one of them. No, two of them die, right? Isaac dies.
Yeah.
He's the one who gets spat on.
Yeah, face melted.
And then Nibs almost dies.
Yeah, no. She doesn't, though.
But it was... Okay, so Isaac meets his demise, and you're like...
But he was the only hybrid ever attacked even by the aliens, other than Nibs.
Yeah.
By the eyeball creature.
Yeah, and even that doesn't really make any sense, because later on the eyeball doesn't care about the synthetics, and it needs a real body.
Right, and I kind of figured that the eyeball creature is clearly intelligent enough to plan, to strategize.
Yeah.
To pick specific targets. So unless it was just like a knee-jerk reaction of like something's moving, let me try to attack it.
Yeah.
You would think it would be intelligent enough to realize, like the xenomorph does, that, you know, synthetic creatures aren't food really, or aren't something that they are even interested in attacking.
Yeah.
but it doesn't.
And you don't. And throughout the whole first season, you don't ever understand what the eyeball's motivation is.
Right. Other than just to get out and cause chaos.
But it also doesn't really seem like it wants freedom so much as it wants to be able to communicate.
Yeah.
And like, because there's one part where it seems like in the flashback, for instance, I understood it to be that the eyeball had taken a liking to the
female scientist.
Yeah, and that it was trying to protect her, and that's why it was like trying to warn her when the other doors were opening up. But then later on, it does kind of seem like it's a pretty nefarious little creature that isn't interested in helping any. Because I thought like at some point it was gonna maybe like take over. Now I understand when you were making that joke about the eyeball inside of a xenomorph.
Yeah.
Like now I get that.
Yeah.
But before I hadn't got to that part.
I see. Yeah.
And yeah, I just thought like, okay, so is it going to, find a like take over a human and then like fight the xenomorphs off? Is it going to help people? Like what does this little eyeball want? Does it just want freedom?
Yeah.
I don't know. And you don't really find out. And then when it finally finds a human, the really fucked up twist is that it takes over the dead body of the husband.
Yes. The engineer husband.
So then you find out that like he could have just attached himself to any dead person.
Yeah, he didn't need a live host.
And the whole time, that's what
there were plenty of dead people.
Yeah. So so I mean, I guess you could just chalk that up to like nobody knows anything. Yeah. So like, it's hard to call that a plot hole.
Sure. Well, and I think,
but you would think that a genius such as Cavalier would at least try that.
Sure. I see the thing I think about Cavalier as a character, which I want to take a moment to say I think the performances and the casting is excellent throughout the entire show.
Yeah.
I enjoyed everyone on screen. I thought they all did a very good job, especially the tall task of being the hybrids of essentially trying to act as children in adult bodies.
They have to be adolescents, and they also have to have the cognition of an adult.
Yeah.
But like the
like the mentality of a child.
Child.
They want to play. They want to goof around.
Yeah.
They feel
they're
nervous
like
about
emotionally they're children.
Yeah, they feel nervous about cursing and then on top of that they're grappling with the concept that which only happens later on, kind of on their own, is that they're grappling with the concept that they're actually dead. And then you get into the whole conundrum of,
but are they actually
is
dead?
that really their consciousness, or is it like a clone situation where this is all just a scheme by Cavalier to get money out of rich people who don't want to die,
right?
So
we can kind of delve into the philosophical questions of all of this.
Yeah,
there was something else I wanted to address because we were going down some of the like weird stuff. Let's get back to that.
Okay,
let's stay in the like weird unanswered questions.
Sure.
There are many.
Yeah. Well, I think that you can kind of chalk up the questions around the eyeball creature, for lack of a better name, to the entire idea and theme that we kind of end on with the season of things that are under the yoke of a more powerful, larger entity of some sort, inherently want to break free from that.
Yeah.
So you can just say, all of those creatures, as sentient or as intelligent or unintelligent as they may be, have this natural response to being studied, to being pricked and prodded and being captured and trapped.
Yeah.
And even though they're so, diverse and very different from each other, and I'm sure have their own homeworlds and their own, natural habitats and diets and predatory natures and whatnot, they all have one drive, and that's to get out of those cages and essentially strike back against their captors.
Yeah.
And that's the theme behind the hybrids too, eventually.
Yeah.
You know, they are at one time coddled and feel protected by Prodigy, and specifically Cavalier, but then eventually they grow more and more aware of the fact that no, they are the ones with the power. They are, you know, the ones that actually can wield power over their captors, and they eventually overthrow the island.
You know, my biggest beef with this show is probably the Cavalier character. It's really hard. It's damn near impossible.
Yeah.
To pull off the genius level intellect in a movie, because you're dealing with writers who are, for lack of a better word, they're not like super geniuses.
Yeah, they're mimicking what they see or what they believe a genius would act like.
Yeah. So
and parodying
what they've seen in like pop culture and
Elon Musk, yada yada yada.
But the problem is, now you get to the point where you're like, okay, how fallible is this character?
Yeah.
Because like, how much are we chalking up to his intellect, and how much are we chalking up to him just being a regular dude? For example, you telling me he didn't see this coming?
Right.
They're children. It's only going to take 1 year of, you know, quote unquote growth for them to start thinking, therefore I aming.
Sure. Well, and that was his entire idea too. He wanted that to happen.
But he didn't. He had no inclination that they were gonna fucking like rebel.
Well, and that's
he made super near immortal super soldiers, and if one of them just snapped his neck because he looked at him wrong,
why?
Because that's what children do. Children are they get angry, they're emotional, they're violent.
Of course, they don't know their own strength, especially if they are freakishly strong.
Yeah, and the implication that Nibs was assaulted or some traumatic thing happened to her,
right,
to her actual body, her actual person,
right,
before she was put into this, and they knew this, and they did it anyway.
Well, and they said that they did know that ahead of time, and they chose to go ahead with it anyway to test out the new technology.
But it's like, okay, test it out to. I mean, maybe they thought they had enough fail safes in place to answer all of these questions. I just think it's kind of. I just wouldn't. There's certain risks that he takes.
Well, and why not at least have the iRobot? You know, like the protocol is that there's a fail safe within their brains, their artificial brains, that they cannot harm a human being. Right. You know, like something.
You can erase their memories, but you can't put like a programming in there so that they like.
I mean, bad example because I didn't work out in iRobot, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, but at
least try.
Right. Nibs almost kills the mom, the wife.
Yes.
Simply because she was asking too many questions.
Yeah. And she could start to kind of feel the manipulation too, I think.
Yeah, definitely. She was definitely like questioning her own reality in her way.
Yeah. As a child, as a traumatized child.
Yeah. So like a kid that is not getting the answers that they want, you know, they're going to lash out.
Yeah.
And but you're talking about an immortal super soldier.
Right.
I just think some of that is like, I don't know. I feel like it's a little cheap to just chalk it up to, well, you know, they're human also. It's but they're super geniuses too. So I'm supposed to just ignore all the other logical fallacies because they're geniuses.
There's only so much you can chalk up to hubris. Because I know that's what they're going for, is saying, oh, you know, he's this incredible genius, this child savant that grew up to be, you know, this you know, master of his domain. He has his own city, for God's sake, you know, like. He is one of the top 5, you know, but of course he has hubris, so that's his Achilles heel, and he can't see the dangers in front of him. He thinks he can master the you know, air quotes, nature.
Tim Oliphant's character at one point says like someone with your level of ADHD, which apparently he has like off the charts ADHD, which I just thought, I laughed. I thought it was really funny for them to be like, he has near inhuman levels of ADHD.
Yeah. It's just vibrating.
And that's why he can't wear shoes.
Yeah, very dirty feet.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
And that's why he walks around, dressed like a beggar from like the Aladdin era.
Yes.
Because
big pants.
He has ADHD.
Sure.
Very silly.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the only way to illustrate that he's eccentric.
Sure. I will say early on especially, I did like the angle of course there'd be a guy like this at the top. Because we don't see that generally in the alien world.
Yeah.
Usually we see Weyland-Yutani as being this like, cold, corporate, big office, very professional. But of course, there'd be an eccentric boy genius in the running for this entire corpo takeover of the world.
Yeah.
So I do like that we got an angle from a character like that. And I did like his performance. I thought overall it was good.
Yeah, I thought he was good.
It is. I agree with you, though. I think writing-wise, there was something left to desire.
Yeah.
Because... Yeah, I mean, I get what they're going for. That he as smart as he is, he's lost the force for the trees.
Yeah,
but be a little more subtle, please.
Right.
You can't chalk it all up to just, he is fallible after all. Oh my God,
I also think one more big criticism that I have is from like a more global standpoint of the franchise.
Yeah,
I think all this series does is just bring up more questions. It doesn't answer anything.
Yeah.
All it does is just go, okay, so this is what's happening on Earth.
Yes. I should say this takes place 2 years before Alien.
Just 2 years.
Just 2 years. So I mean, again, like I said when we first talked about this show on the One Beer In podcast, the creators of the show, the showrunners, said essentially we're not too concerned with the timeline, so maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, you can just kind of ignore the timeline, but I just feel like that's a little, I don't know, that's a little cheap to just be like you don't. Why set it 2 years before Alien? Why not set it 1,000 years before Alien? Why not set it 100 years or 30 years or a timeline enough away that because now at 2 years I'm going, okay, Weyland-Yutani has known about the xenomorph for an undisclosed amount of time.
A long time, actually.
Very long time.
First...
Well, if you're taking Prometheus and Covenant and all that stuff, they've known for a very, very long time.
Right, and they I guess launched the xenomorph for the first time in Covenant, which is like what 50.
Well, they did.
70 years.
What's his name did? David did.
Yeah.
But that's even more confusing because it's like, okay, did they get like feedback from David as to what? Because at this point, Weyland-Yutani is looking for immortality.
Right.
They're not looking for.
Well, Weyland has been looking for immortality from Prometheus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, all right. Sorry, I misspoke. From Prometheus.
Yeah.
That's where we get the first, what we believe, motivation of the Weyland.
Peter Weyland?
Yutani coming. Yeah.
Peter Weyland?
Peter Weyland.
I think. Yeah.
Guy Pearce.
Yes. Old man makeup Guy Pearce.
So he wants to live forever.
Yes.
He thinks he's found
the
answer to that. He fails miserably.
Yeah.
Then we get to Covenant, and you get the alien teaser at the end of Prometheus. Then you get the actual aliens that David has been making from people. He's figured it out.
Yeah.
He's figured out the pods and everything. Or he kind of figures it out with the doctor. He finally goes, I think this is what I need, as a living host. And he pushes him into the thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
Then you fast forward to this series. I think you just, even if they want us to ignore the timeline, it's just kind of hard because it's like you're still dealing with the Weyland-Yutani company. You're still dealing with xenomorphs. You're dealing with a lot of stuff that we have already. It's only natural for people to try to connect the dots and go, okay, but how come no one ever talked about synthetics or cyborgs before? Hybrids, like all of this stuff is stuff that hybrids less so because that's new technology.
Sure.
But cyborgs are like a thing.
Clearly it didn't go well.
Yes. So So are you telling me that everything that's about to happen is going to happen within 2 years?
Yeah.
Because then you get the Alien movie and everything post-Alien.
Yeah.
And even in Aliens, you know that the Weyland-Yutani company is aware of the xenomorphs.
Sure.
But to what extent, you still don't know. They kind of just want to go back and get the alien.
So they know, if memory serves, and mind you, I pretty frequently go back to Alien and Aliens.
Yeah.
Aliens, the settlement they make, Hope.
Yeah.
Something's Hope. Hadley's Hope.
Yeah.
Got it. Hadley's
there
Hope.
you go.
Weyland-Yutani specifically chooses that planet to put Hadley's Hope on because they know that the xenomorphs are there.
Yeah.
And they're trying to essentially do an experiment to breed the xenomorphs and capture them so they can, explore what that's all about.
Right. And this is all under the guise of, the rescue mission and all that stuff.
Which is all BS.
Yeah. Well, and in Alien, all of that's BS too.
Yes.
Because Mother is like, you need to get the sample or whatever, and you need to bring it back.
Crew
Everyone else
expendable.
expendable. So that was the whole thing with that. So they've always been trying to get this alien. That's understood. It's just like, I guess, to what end, I guess. But I don't really know. I really don't really understand to what end the Weyland-Yutani. I know that they want to study what is the perfect organism. They always say that. That's like the whole thing.
Yeah. I assumed it was again, to work on immortality for people, to study how they're so strong.
Yeah.
And B, to figure out how to weaponize them.
Yeah.
So they clearly have, martial ambitions. They have their own Marines, Space Marines and whatnot. So I always just assumed that was the case. It could be wrong.
And I'm bringing us into the weeds a little bit too much. Let's get back to the TV show. I'm still left with a lot of questions.
Sure.
Is I guess my overall
your point stands. Yes, your point stands. It does not answer very many questions, but I do think it sets itself up to, hopefully, with a season 2. Because, I think it will be interesting if they choose to answer those questions.
Yeah.
If they don't, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be a little disappointed.
Yes.
As a franchise fan, I will feel a little cheated on that.
We need a little something. Dangle a little something.
Well, after the success of something like Andor, it shows that this is now a tried and true model. You can expand and go far deeper into a franchise than you can in a movie.
Yeah.
In a TV show, specifically a prequel TV show. And I think they can really learn some lessons from that show.
Yeah.
Let alone Rogue One, expanding on something that may have seemed too inconsequential for a movie, but digging that deep into a 8 to 10 episode series.
Yeah.
So I would like to see that. I hope that's where they're going with it. Honestly, I didn't study too much about Alien Earth before I watched it, like you, and I really thought it was going to be a limited series type situation.
Yeah.
Where it would just be this one season and it would cap off. And I got to be honest, I was really disappointed when we were left with like a cliffhanger and smash cut to credits, rock song plays.
Oh, believe me, dude. I immediately went to the internet and was like, they're talking about a season 2. Right? Like, they have to be in production already.
Yeah.
There's no shot they left it on this kind of cliffhanger.
Right.
And was just like, now
good
think
luck.
about that.
Good luck.
Now wonder what could happen.
Yeah. I was left really disappointed.
Yeah.
And I think that's partially my own expectations based on prestige TV nowadays, where they tend to really cap things off Even if it's a just-in-case situation,
Yeah.
where it's like, if we don't do a next season, let's make sure this is satisfying.
Yes.
And I did not feel that.
You would think at this point, like, dude, instead of doing 8 episodes, just do 10 and just cap it off.
Yeah.
And then you can come back.
Can leave it open to something, but, like, it feels like, okay, what's the next episode? Like, clearly, we're not in a place where there's any satisfaction to be had.
Well, I honestly thought until I got to the very end of the show and they were doing that kind of montage-y, the rock song starts to slowly fade in, and everything's kind of, you're getting all the weird faces of like, oh, this is our new reality kind of thing, where you're like, okay, this is going forward. This is what this is. Then you start to realize, like, oh, there's not going to be an episode 9.
Right.
It ends here.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
And that was hoping and believing that
Pearl Jam.
They at least have to do 2 seasons of this show. At least. Because if they don't, then yeah, man, I think if they don't do a season 2, you have to kind of go back and retroactively change your score. I think, for me personally, I have to change my score and go back and be like, it's not as good because this is a very unsatisfying TV show.
Well, and honestly, that's how I'm approaching this review, is based on what we have.
Yeah.
Because, be honest with you, I haven't even looked up, is season 2 happening? Or when it's expected?
I don't think that they have, as far as what I read, they don't have a date in mind, but like it's pretty much going to happen.
Sure.
Like FX is.
It's been successful. I think they got enough viewers and it's made a big enough buzz.
Yeah.
Again, thanks largely to Romulus. Alien is now,
back in the zeitgeist.
A known franchise yet again. So. We'll see. And they're making a sequel to Romulus. So, of course, it's going to come right back again, and it's going to stay in the zeitgeist. So, I'm hopeful that they're going to make a season 2 sooner than later. But, like we've talked about before ad nauseum, it takes so long nowadays for seasons to come out of any TV show, let alone a quote-unquote prestige TV show, which I would consider this to be because it's, high quality and high budget, I assume.
Yeah. Just like production alone, they might film the show, but the production of it's probably going to take another, like, we probably won't get season 2 for another, like, 2 years. Yeah. Like
I assume.
The Bear's been coming back really, because I'm only bringing up the Bear because it's an FX show.
Sure.
And it's on Hulu, so. But the Bear is like an easy show to film relative to all of this stuff.
Yeah. No kidding.
So
no xenomorphs in the Bear.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, it makes sense that show's coming back pretty fast. But this is something that we're like, you have to commit to this and bring it back pretty quickly, man.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna, first of all, you're gonna like, maybe they tie it into Romulus 2 coming out to try to keep the conversation going and everything.
Sure.
But yeah, I just feel I don't know, a little cheated by. I feel like this is a show that it wants to ask a lot of philosophical questions.
Yeah.
And I think even the nature of the show itself, by being a cliffhanger and kind of just going, well, I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah.
Kind of lends itself to the idea of this being more of a philosophical TV show. I think it takes a lot from Prometheus, as far as conceptually.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. I think that's part of the reason why I'm disappointed with the second half, is that the first half I feel like does such a good job of setting up all these high concept ideas.
Yeah.
And really, I was really affected by the story of Wendy and the rest of the kids and the Peter Pan motif and Neverland and them never growing up. And the idea, and again, this is all credit to the cast and the writers, but I feel like they did such a good job of being those kids. Like the adult actors convinced me that they were children, like struggling with this thing, and I felt so bad for them, and I felt like really emotionally affected by their performances, and I was like, wow, this is like really juicy stuff. This is like, there's a lot on the bone here to explore. And then suddenly smash cut, like now it's aliens. She has a xenomorph dog.
Yeah.
It's like,
and she sicks it on people.
Right.
And we're supposed to be like, we're supposed to not be on the brother's side when he's like, well, maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
Maybe don't use your alien dog to murder. Because she's like, on the same token of her being like, well, we don't murder people. People murder people. Then she turns around and she sicks her xenomorph on. It's like,
that's why we're allowed to murder people.
Yeah, it just kind of falls on deaf ears. It's like, and maybe I'm not smart enough to connect the dots of why she can. I mean, I guess we're supposed to just accept that she's still a human, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And she will make these hypocritical decisions. And
that's not what they're going for, though.
But I don't exactly. So I'm like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to take away from the fact that she's fucking wagging her finger at her brother.
Yeah.
And then turning around
for tasing her friend.
For tasing her friend.
Who also moments ago ripped a guy's head off.
Ripped his fucking jaw out.
Ripped his jaw out and threw him in the ocean.
Honestly, one of the most violent moments in the TV show. I mean, this is a show about fucking xenomorphs.
Yeah.
And that was one of the most shocking, violent things
I
I've seen in the show.
I gotta be honest, I was waiting for something like that to happen.
Dude, I mean, it was satisfying when it finally was like, because you do get to a point where you're just like, fucking blow the lid off this motherfucker a little bit.
Yeah.
And when it happens, you're like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it's like, who the fuck are you?
Right.
Telling you're not, she has this very holier than thou attitude. Sure. And I'm like, are we supposed to be siding with her? Because I don't.
I would have liked, and I think what could have fixed this is that they gave her more pathos in being conflicted about it and being like, yeah, but they were going to kill us.
Right.
And I had to do something.
Or have her brother more strongly push back on the fact, because, he's like, oh, no, don't do that. But then when she is like, humans do this and you are responsible for this, I think there should have been a moment where he at least kind of was like, you just used the xenomorph to just you just mow down 20 people who you don't know.
Yeah.
Just because they are tasked with a job, which they weren't going to kill you. Their job was to bring you back to the facility.
Right.
And they were in your way of escape, which I understand. It's like, it's me or you, motherfucker. I get that.
Sure.
But you don't get to then turn around and be the bigger person in this conversation. You used your xenomorph to murder 30 guys.
Right.
So I think at least just one moment of him being like, how dare you be mad at me right now?
Right.
The moment where all that happens, it's the 7th episode. It's a penultimate moment in the show, because you think that he has chosen his side and she's chosen hers, and the one episode kind of hangs on her being like, what did you do? All this stuff, right?
Yeah.
That should have been the moment where he doesn't beg for her forgiveness. He should have been like, what do you mean, what did I do? All I did was fucking tase your friend.
I saved somebody.
She ripped his face off.
Yeah. Well, and there is a little bit of pushback from her saying you think your friends are more important than mine, essentially. And there's not really any pushback from him. And I feel like they put him in such a position that he almost, at the end of it, seems kind of scared to push back from her or on her, because she is, she can be a killing machine if she chooses to be.
Yeah.
So that leaves us in this really weird limbo of are we supposed to feel like they still have this brother-sister bond?
Right.
Or
and are we, who are we supposed to be rooting for right now? Are we the
xenomorphs?
Right.
and the hybrids, I guess.
I just want to go back on the characters for 2 seconds. I do think everybody does their job well. Everyone's casted really well, and everyone acts really well. But I do think that the brother is the weakest part of the show.
Yeah. It's kind of one note.
Very one note. He doesn't seem to have a lot of complexity to him.
Yeah. He's always like,
really
huh?
He doesn't really seem to know what's going on. He always seems to be one step behind the 8 ball.
Sure.
And he just kind of feels like he's playing catch up. And I really, really thought that he was going to get face hugged.
Yeah.
I really thought that this was going to be the big moment of the show, because it seemed, I was like,
I do like that they play
he's
with that.
Dummy.
I do like that they play with that.
Yeah. I
they
like
kind of
that too.
tease at that. You're like, oh no,
no, dude. When he finally gets him into the thing, I was like, oh, he's gonna do it. Oh my god, the brother's gonna die.
Yeah.
By the way, one of the best plot devices in all of cinema is the face hugger.
Oh yeah.
Just the finality of when it attaches itself. It's like, it's over, dude.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
That person is as good as dead. It's like a zombie bite.
Yeah.
But it's like that person's done.
And then they have to suffer through still living.
Yes.
And not knowing what happened.
But the thing is, once you've watched enough, you know what's going to happen. So it's like a treat to the audience. You're going, when's it going to happen?
Chekhov's gun.
So when so when it happens to the husband, you're just like, wait, once he gets face hugged, you're like, well, it's over now, right? And then once he finally comes to, you're like, oh no, when's he gonna get chest bursted? When's it gonna happen?
And he's he is one of the only good guys in the entire show.
Yeah.
He does the right thing every time.
Tries to.
And you know what he gets for it is chest bursted. So
this is so fun. Such a funny thing to say about the show.
Straight up chest
is that
bursted.
like the one guy who's like trying, who's like, I can't, who's like a moral.
He has morals. Moral compass. He's like, I'm not going to do that.
He's the one.
I'm not going to wipe her memory.
Well, guess what? You're going to get the worst fate of all.
Right. From a adult child who is being manipulated by a corporate worker who is ruthless because he has his own history and trauma of his own family dying and him not being around because he was on this mission from Weyland-Yutani.
So now he's just gone like pure evil, I guess.
Yeah. Black build.
Yeah.
But he does have a cool arm blade.
I think he's a great character.
Yeah, he's great.
I think I every moment with him, I was like, this dude's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I thought, to speak to your point about how like the show starts really, really hot and gets weak as it goes on.
Yeah.
He is this like menacing, scary character. And you don't really, and you don't know what his motivations are. You don't know, like, when they first introduce him in the show, you think he's going to be like the captain in the first Alien movie. Turns out he's a cyborg. Turns out he's like a piece of shit. Like, he's so mean.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, such
he doesn't care about anyone.
No one.
Yeah.
So then you're like, okay. Then when you finally get all the information about him, you kind of empathize with where he's coming from, but he's just such a bastard that like he's such a great villain because he has legitimate motivations at first, and then you see where that evil has kind of taken him into this place where like there's no looking back, and now he's just like, I'll kill a kid. I don't give a fuck.
Right.
He tells a child, like, you need to find a person and murder them. And obviously he tricks him. Yeah. Doesn't tell him what is actually going to happen. Sure. And he manipulates him, and he talks to him like he's a child. Then he talks to him like he's an adult. And he really manipulates
he coerces
this guy.
him.
I just think he's so good in the first couple episodes, and then once you get to the last half where he's basically just like a soldier for hire, like he's just a mercenary,
and then they sideline him.
him.
He goes to jail, straight to jail.
And then they put a big old fucking thing on his cyborg arm.
He gets a Barrett gauntlet on his arm,
and you're just like, oh well, that goes.
Cool, nerfed.
So they just take him from us, and I'm like,
Yeah.
He was so compelling.
Yes.
And I really liked, even though he was working for Yutani, I liked the idea of like, he just felt like, what else is there but the company?
In for a penny, in for a pound. That's where he was. It's like, I've already sacrificed so much.
Yeah.
Like, what is another kid?
Right.
What is another person?
And I like the idea of like, again, that goes back to like, this is a really interesting philosophical conundrum that he's in, where it's like, how far is too far?
Yeah.
He's already done so much. At what point do you go, this is, or is he so far gone that there is no coming back, and that like that's just who he is, that's who he's become, and there is no convincing him otherwise. And now you're just watching to what extent he will like exercise that, right?
What depth will he fall to next?
And all of that shit is like so much fun to watch.
Yes, and I love the idea, not even the idea, but like the juxtaposition and the comparison you have between him and Timothy Oliphant's character,
Yeah.
who is a full-on synthetic.
Yeah. Who
And
also seems cold on the surface, but
Yeah.
has his own sort of motivations and feelings.
He cares.
And,
He cares about stuff. He has his own motivations.
He
and
seems to care about Isaac and some of the
Sure.
synthetics.
Sure.
Or,
hybrids. Yeah. I like that they put those two as like rivals.
Yeah.
And I like the idea that sure, technically, what's his name? the cyborg.
Kumi.
Yes, Kumi. That Kumi is technically more human.
Isn't Timothy Oliphant's character, his name is like Kershaw, right? Doesn't his name start with a K as well?
Oh, let me see. I have the list pulled up. Let me see here.
That's what's really fucked up about binge watching a TV show, man.
Kirsch. Yeah.
Okay, I said Kershaw. Bright Kershaw.
Right. Bart Kirsch.
Chrysler. So he's Kirsch and he's Kumi. So
Right.
that's also kind of...
Yeah.
But yeah, binge watching a TV show, you miss some stuff because you're basically watching an 8-hour movie. So
Yeah.
like some of the character names, some of like little things like,
Well,
where's that guy from again?
Especially because the hybrids have two names. They have their real
yeah,
names.
dude.
And they have
I
their
was having
Peter
so
Pan
much
name.
trouble keeping up with.
Well, because they switch it midway through.
They just keep switching,
like,
and then it's like she's Marcy, she's Wendy,
Right.
Nibs. We find out her character's name. Isaac is another name, slightly, and his name. And it was just like, it's
All right,
really
guys.
confusing.
All right.
Really confusing.
Yeah. Let me think. What else? I did like the setup of the mega corporations taking over the world.
Yeah.
I like that entire thing because in a way I feel like that sort of is the best thing that this show gifts to the rest of the franchise. Because we already know that Weyland-Yutani is nefarious.
Uh-huh.
But also knowing that there is no good option
Yeah.
anymore. Like there is no option to abstain from these mega corporations anymore.
Yeah.
You pick your poison, and it seems like most pick Weyland-Yutani because they're the top dog. But there is no escape. You have to play within this world.
Yeah.
I think adds to the desperation of every character throughout the franchise.
Yeah.
Including, I mean, especially the opening moments of Romulus. I think about immediately.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Of
they're
like,
on these mining planets.
Yeah,
and
you're-
they're working
you are-
for these different companies.
you are firmly under the heel, and they kind of reference that in the show too with Wendy's brother.
Yeah.
About him trying to get out of being a medic.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, sorry.
Yeah.
You have more time.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your circumstances are, but no, you can't.
Yeah.
And talking literally to a robot that can't, reason with him as a human being.
Right.
I thought that was smart and, affecting for the larger universe of the franchise.
I just thought he was just so doughy-eyed and just like, I don't know, mushy.
And I think that was a choice because he has to balance out Wendy's naivete,
Yeah.
He can't be this gruff, fully, in the saddle adult that has all the shit together, or else
Right.
it's going to come off more like a father-daughter situation.
Yeah.
So I think without making him a kid also, I think they had to make him kind of unsure of himself and immature in a way, to not overpower Wendy when they come back together and he's trying to reason with her.
I think that maybe it could have been more effective if they were at least closer in age. It did seem like there was at least a 5 to 7 year gap between them.
Yeah.
Like their maturity level, because he does have a very older brother energy with her.
Yeah.
But if they were closer in age, I think there would have been a more comfort level of him being like you're fucking this up. What's going on? And he would have been able to ask tougher questions. Or maybe that's the whole excuse me, the whole thing is that he doesn't have it in him to ask these tougher questions and do things about this.
And I think Wendy puts him in his place a lot because, you know, he comes immediately from a place of like, I'm your older brother. I'm the only family left that is actually trying to look out for you.
Yeah.
And she says, no, I can protect myself.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm the only one protecting you in this situation.
Right.
So the tables are turned, and that leads to good drama, but also doesn't make him very compelling because he's like left as like a side character to just be protected the entire time, and not really have much power in this situation.
Well, and the more that he doesn't push back on some of her flaws, the less interesting he becomes, and honestly, the less interesting the show becomes because he seems to be the only person who can really push back on this stuff. And when he doesn't, you're left with going, are the writers telling me that Wendy is right in this situation? Because like there's more to it than just right or wrong. But when no one pushes back, then you're left with, okay, I guess the moral of the show, or the moral compass, or the moral center rather, is Wendy's character. Because more often than not, she is, right? She does make the right decision, quote unquote. She makes a tough decision. She saves people. She seems to be, you're watching this show through her eyes mostly, and you're watching her kind of come into herself, and you're watching her make mistakes and everything. But there are moments where it feels like when they don't do enough to go, this is Wendy's perspective, it is not the perspective.
Yeah.
You're left with, so am I supposed to be rooting for her right now? Because like what she did was like crazy fucked up.
It is a show that I feel like the biggest sin, one of the biggest sins, other than, you know, the completely unsatisfying nature of the conclusion of the season, is that we are left rudderless as far as who we're supposed to be rooting for.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's not always a bad thing, but I feel like this is a show that clearly wants you to root for someone.
Yeah.
So if it was a situation where the story itself led to, okay, there are many perspectives on this conflict, and it's up to you as the viewer to figure out who you side with in this complex issue, fine. That's not what the show ended up being.
No, because they don't make Yutani or Cavalier or any of the other companies compelling enough or moral enough for you to go, well, I think Cavalier is right, or Prodigy is right in this, or Yutani. Yutani just wants the aliens back. They don't give a fuck who they go through.
It's their property.
Yeah.
They don't care about anyone or anything but getting their property, which is, you know, I mean, to their credit, that is pitch perfect for what we know of Weyland-Yutani. So that makes sense. But I just feel like it's a show of mostly bastards being bastards to each other, and us with a, again, air quotes, innocent character or characters that end up doing not good things.
Yeah.
And then judging, I think indicting really us as the audience for getting pleasure out of seeing these horrible things happen.
Yeah.
Because that's really where the lifeblood of the show comes out, is in the horror of it all. And we are titillated by it because it is an alien property, and that's kind of what they do. But I don't know. I feel like it's a show at odds with itself at times.
Yeah.
And that leaves me kind of confused as far as, you know, what are we going for?
Right.
You know? Not to say there's a right or wrong way to interpret art, but I just feel like it is a muddled narrative by the end of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what I was left with most, other than like, I hope this has a satisfying ending eventually.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there are, I mean, I don't mean to bash it. I really do like a lot of elements and a lot of pieces. And again, I think the character work is great in it, but I feel like the placemat is set. The dishes are there.
Yeah.
But, you know, we don't know the which course comes first.
Yeah.
And we need some more guidance here. Help us.
Yeah.
Help us.
I think going back to your initial point about the show, like the first couple of episodes are so strong that they lift it to a place of being like a 10 out of 10 or 6 out of 6.
I was really excited. The like first half, I was, and again, like you said, that the episode that was essentially a mini Alien movie. I was like, oh boy, we are so in.
Yeah, no,
like,
dude, I was like, I got done and I was like, oh, this is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then I think it plateaus there, and I think it dips just enough to keep it from being like a perfect first season of a TV show. It's not Andor.
No, certainly not.
But I think that it did enough in the first couple of episodes to like get it pretty high marks, which is why I think I think a lot of the positive reviews that I've seen from critics is the mixture of horror and pretty compelling philosophical questions.
Sure.
I think you'd have to be an asshole to not at least acknowledge that some of the high concept stuff that they're going for is compelling enough to get you thinking. I think that where they fail is they don't go far enough. Yeah. That's really my big thing, especially in the back half of the show.
Yeah.
When it becomes aliens.
Yeah.
Is they're so focused on now the horror nature of the show and the like action of it, which like I just don't think that it was necessary.
And I got to be honest with you, it's not aliens even. It is a cheap facsimile of aliens. It doesn't do aliens well enough.
Right.
Like you see the alien way too much. You see the xenomorph way too much.
Yeah.
It is in broad daylight.
Dude, yes. The fact that they were fighting it like it was Predator.
Right.
Just in the middle of a rainforest, and it's got this weird like greenish color to it where it's like, this isn't that ain't my daddy xenomorph.
No, it's not. And honestly, it really, like, I actually had a moment watching it. I was like, does this kind of suck? I think this kind of sucks. I'm seeing it and I'm like, this shouldn't suck. Yeah. But I feel like in my heart of hearts, I don't like this very much.
Because it was so good to begin with. Yeah. You're like, does this suck now?
Yeah. I felt really mixed up about it. And there was a moment I was like, oh no, I don't think I like this as much anymore. Yeah. And I think a lot of it had to, and not to say like, I so appreciate the fact that they mostly used a guy in a suit. And that kind of thing. I
Classic
love
xenomorph.
that.
When it's got weight to it and it like just looks like a dude in a suit.
Yeah.
That actually
it
helps.
Feels like it's there. With a few exceptions, obviously there's CG involved, but I appreciated the fact that they had someone in a suit.
Yeah.
That being said, they went against like everything like movie making 101 says, which is they overshowed the monster.
Yeah. They played their hand and they played it long and hard.
Too much.
Way too much. They showed the monster too
Cut away. Much. We don't have to see every, tail strike where it rips somebody in half.
Yeah.
Show the aftermath. I loved the scene early on when they were still in the building and that like aristocratic party was happening and everyone gets destroyed.
Yeah.
But we don't see any of that happen. We just see like dudes cut in half, just clawing onto life still. And that's horrific and it's horrible. And, we get like one scene of it jumping out at what's his name? The brother.
Yeah.
But like that showing restraint, that's good movie making. That's good filmmaking. But then like at the end of it, it just felt kind of lazy and like,
yes.
It just like they took all of the riz from the xenomorphs, if you want to put it in current slang.
Yes. And also again, like, okay, so now we have to kind of answer the question of like, okay, she can talk to it, right?
Yes.
She can at least communicate to it like it's a pet.
Well, command it.
Well, we don't know to what extent that like, does the xenomorph view her as like
a mother,
a parent? Yeah. Or is it just that the xenomorph isn't as intelligent as we initially thought, and it's just a dog, basically?
Yeah.
Now you're left with those questions because part of the xenomorph mythos is that they're highly intelligent, and that's why they're such good killers
and killing machines.
Yeah,
perfect.
So they're
killing
near
machines.
immortal.
Yeah,
they're the perfect organism, and they are highly intelligent. And their only motivation seems to be kill and reproduce.
Yes,
that seems to be the only thing that they care about.
Yeah,
and so you kind of when you do the like, I get in like the Alien versus Predator movies when the Predator becomes friendly with humans.
Yeah,
because there's a precedent set there
because we both stand upright.
Yeah,
that's the differentiator.
Right. And some of us have dreadlocks.
Yes,
I think that the Predators at least can see. They seem to only value that kind of warrior spirit thing. That's like their whole culture and whatnot.
Yes.
And so, a warrior that they respect, you can understand why they would be like,
they have pride.
Yeah. But the xenomorphs seem to be, even though they're highly intelligent,
mindless.
They do seem to be mindless killing machines.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden, like, they just have to, I just need more, dude. I need to understand more. I am not happy with she can hear and speak in frequencies that are inhuman, so she gets to communicate with. Because even if she can communicate with the xenomorphs, why would the xenomorph be like, "Yeah, I'll go murder those dudes for you.
I'll do what you want.
Like, I don't give it. Like,
yeah,
I have nothing else going on right
Yeah.
now, dude. My Sunday is fucking wide open.
I won't kill your brother. It's fine.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
I mean, he also is a human who I would put my second tongue right through his skull if you weren't around.
Right.
But because you want me to kill these guys instead of him, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
You just let me know. I need more answers.
I would say they have to go one way or the other with it, which is either, yes, answer those questions, or don't even pose them.
Or don't pose them.
Yeah. Keep it a complete mystery. Make this like Alien, where we don't know a damn thing about them.
Right.
They are mysterious creatures that blend in with the ship and come out and attack you like a panther, and they're in and out like a shadow.
Right.
You never see them.
I don't think there's very many things more frightening than a murderer with no motivation other than murder.
Murder, yeah.
You can't reason with that.
Sure.
So that's like human nature goes out the window.
Yeah.
All it is primal fear, flight or flight,
Yes.
right? And so that's frightening.
It's
man.
what we've been scared of since the caveman days.
Right.
So
you take that away and you give the xenomorph a bit of autonomy.
Yes.
And now you have to go, okay, well, what is it going to do with that? And if it's just going to be the lapdog of Wendy, I think that they kind of in this show, and I'm not going to say for the entire series, but I think in the show, they have kind of nerfed the xenomorph as a being and as a threat.
But then they do that. Yes, I agree. But then they also, on the other hand, make the xenomorph nearly immortal too.
Yeah.
You can shoot and kill a xenomorph. We've seen it happen.
Right.
In Aliens, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
But in this show, for some reason, like, we're fighting stormtroopers. They can't,
right. Oh yeah.
Even though there's an entire like platoon of soldiers coming out, like professional soldiers,
is ripping through all of them.
they don't get a single shot on them.
And I do think that they also, I think hopefully what they were going for was this is a different xenomorph, because this was the one that came from his lung. Right?
Oh, he different.
Oh, he different.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't he come from the lung?
I didn't put that together, but maybe. I mean, they definitely kept his lung for a reason. So,
maybe
other than to blackmail him.
Whoever watched the show, we're
talking about the brother.
But I'm like 90% sure
Joe,
they kept
the brother
lung,
Joe,
and they took a sample from because Kirsch took the fetus, if you will, out of the facehugger that they capture.
Yes.
And they put it in the lung.
They implanted it into the lung.
So it's like kind of related to her.
Oh. I didn't think about that.
I just put that together in my head.
Oh.
So they don't really make mention of that. But
maybe that's why it doesn't attack the brother too? Because
they're kind of related.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. Okay.
They at least share DNA.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe that's
but
like
not her and Wendy though, because
Wendy's
is
synthetic.
But Wendy's synthetic, yeah.
Right. But she can speak to it at least.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I could buy that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little allusion to, Alien 3?
Yeah, yes. So, okay. So bearing that in mind, and also this alien is very clearly different because we do see xenomorphs earlier in the show who are like classic black, 8 feet tall, killing machines.
Sure. Straight from the egg.
Yeah. Those ones obviously still exist.
Yeah.
So there's that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whatever chest bursted out of the doctor, that's the little guy that was hanging on to the alien at the end of the show.
Yes.
But he's going to turn into like a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
There's just
a true xenomorph.
Yeah, there's just too many questions.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think that begs for a season 2. But I think that's really cheap. And I really wish there was more satisfaction by the end of season 1.
Yeah. It's a very uneven show.
Yes. I wrote here, my top note is very high highs and very low lows.
Yeah.
So, mixed bag of a show, I would call it.
Yeah. Successful. It's a good show. There's no bad episodes. There are bad moments where you're like, that could have been better.
Yeah.
And obviously the finale leaves too many questions. It's a frustrating end, but I don't think that it's definitely not a bad show, and I don't think that there's bad episodes. I just think there's very uneven episodes after the 4th episode.
And that's how I classify the show as a whole is uneven.
Yeah.
I don't think it's not bad. It's certainly not bad. And I would recommend it to any Alien fan.
Definitely.
I think it's worth a watch.
Definitely.
Specifically for the first half of the season, I think is excellent.
Yeah.
Some of the better Alien stuff we've gotten in recent years.
Definitely. Definitely.
But definitely uneven. I will say that. One more thing I want to bring up is, can you tell me why Wendy can just inhabit anything electric or electronic?
No.
Why?
No. I've been thinking about that. I don't get it. I
tried real hard to reason with that, and I just couldn't.
She's the first one. So unless they have done something different with Wendy than what they've done with the other Lost Boys, technically all of them should have that power.
Sure.
She's the special one.
She is special. She's like the chosen one.
She's the chosen one, but she's only the chosen one because she was first. And she was the first success. Not that she did anything differently or came to it differently.
Right.
She was obviously enthusiastic about it, but so was the one girl who gets shitted on half the show.
Yes.
She
Curly? Yeah.
She really likes being a fucking hybrid.
Hybrid, yeah.
So...
And she tries really hard.
Get
accepted.
So how come she doesn't... I don't think and this may be a detail that you and I both missed, but I don't think that there's a moment in the show where they tell you why she has that ability.
Yeah, she can just be like a poltergeist within every electronic device, even if it's miles away.
Well, it has to be part of the system. She can control the system.
Like the internal mother system.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the only thing that I know is for sure. That's why she's able to stop Kid Cavalier's
his synthetic
or whatever, because he is technically, because she says it and she's like
his bodyguard synthetic.
He is he's connected to the system, so that's why I was able to do that.
Yes. Okay.
So she can connect. She can control the system. She doesn't have like telekinetic robot powers.
Sure. She's just inherently like.
But they don't
wirelessly connected to the system, and
they don't make any mention of how she's able to do that.
Well, and I've seen a lot of people online saying, she is a classic Mary Sue character, which I understand. She is like the perfect creature that is able to affect change in this world. But at the same time, I appreciate that they kind of directly address that with Curly and saying like, what makes you so special?
Right.
You know, like.
Also, I think that's an unfair criticism because like the show is big. Like if Wendy was one of the boy characters, would we be lobbying criticisms?
Certainly not. And that's why I don't even like bringing up Mary Sue, air quote, as like a derogatory, because it is used as such it's a cudgel against any like powerful female character.
Yeah. I just think that that's bullshit, and I'm not even trying to be like the too woke guy. I just think that it's like,
no way.
You just wouldn't have these criticisms if the show was based around Isaac.
A dude. Yeah.
You know, you just wouldn't, because like all of them are super powered. All of them are like she understands her body better than the other ones only because she's been a hybrid longer than them, not because she's like more special. And like you said, it's even acknowledged that like what makes you so fucking special. Cavalier has a thing for her because she was the first successful hybrid,
and he directly trains her first to essentially be an ambassador to this program for the kids that are transferred into their new bodies.
So yeah, she has more training, she understands the system better,
and she's frankly put in that position by Cavalier. He directly says, can you hear the aliens?
Right.
Okay. Try to replicate what they sound like.
Yeah, and she's still trying to satisfy him.
Yes, if he took that care with the rest of them, they would also be just as powerful.
Exactly. So I think although she's the only one who can initially hear the aliens.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
So there is
She is unique in a way.
Yeah.
She is unique.
Forgot about that part.
I still think it's BS to say that she's a Mary Sue, though.
I do. I think so.
Or any character, really. I don't know. I do think that's a really cheap criticism.
Well, I think like this one more so because like it's not as if she is just overpowered for no reason.
Yeah.
They're all OP. The only thing that's different is she can speak to the aliens, and that's not explained. And we already addressed that does need to be explained.
Sure.
But to say that she's just like OP for OP's sake, to have like this female savior character is, I think, not a fair criticism unless they don't address these questions in season 2.
Right.
Then I think you might have something there, because it's like, well, yeah, true. What the fuck?
Right. Then it becomes a plot hole.
Yeah.
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 I love Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
throwing
great as
that out
always.
there.
Great
He's
as
the
always.
best.
Yeah.
He's so good. Watch Justified.
Yeah, sure.
I think that's all I got, though.
I think that's all I got, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we covered it all. That being said, we have one last thing to do.
Uh-huh.
And that is review this TV show.
Yes.
Excuse me. Marco Dupa, out of 6 bottle caps, what would you give Alien Earth, the TV series, season 1?
I've been teetering back and forth between a 3.5 and a 4. I think I'm going to go with a 4.
Yeah.
Because I was just so compelled by the first 4 episodes, and I don't think that the show drops enough. Because you could very easily just go, it's a 3. It's the first half was good, first half was bad.
Sure.
It's a 3. I think that it stays strong enough that I have to give it a 4.
Yeah.
But I do think like they have a lot of questions that they need to answer, and I do think that like I really hope that in the next season they just stay in that kind of eerie, philosophical, like asking these kind of tough questions and kind of getting to the heart of things, or maybe not getting to the heart of them, because that's really what philosophy is about. You're really just asking questions. You're really trying to understand. And maybe you don't understand, but maybe you can chew on something for a while and
makes you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like the idea of what is a soul, what is consciousness? Are you whatever this makeup is?
Are you your biology, or are you something beyond that?
Yeah. I think that those are very interesting and important questions to ask, and I think that using this show as a vehicle for that stuff is really, really, really interesting and compelling. And I hope that they do more of that if there's a second season.
Yeah.
So a tentative 4. If we don't get a season 2, I think I got to drop it to a 3.
I was going to say the same thing. I'm giving it a 4 with an asterisk.
Yeah.
It's 4 with a promise
Yeah.
that we'll get some of these questions answered and some of these themes more deeply explored in season 2.
And maybe if they even if they do it well, you can even bump the score up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
In hindsight, it could be a
this
great
was a
setup.
really good setup. Yeah.
I agree. I think it's a tentative 4 out of 6 bottle caps.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. Again, I recommend everyone who's into the Alien franchise to give it a watch. Give it a try.
Yeah.
Well, that's all you got.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. This is a wrap.
Let's all go to the Let's all go to the Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.